Hey Geminis, welcome to March 2018. So as I was shuffling for you guys, a card, one of my favorite cards, tried to pop out, but it got pushed back in. And the card that popped out is going to force me to ask you guys this question: are you willing to change? Ooh, and then look, as soon as I said that, this card popped out. Positivity. So that's yes. Thank you for answering. So you're willing to change. Say that every day to the universe, to the clouds, to the sky, to your spouse, to yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. Say your name and say that you are willing to change, because this is a month of creation, positivity, manifestation, building, foundation. It's a year of love and inspiration. It's a year of soulmate energy. It's a year of twin flame energy. It's a year to really create the world and the life that you truly want, okay? But if you're going to use your thoughts as an anchor and saying, this is how it's been, and I know Geminis, they have a lot of thoughts. And for me to sit here and be like, watch your thoughts, is literally, that'd be a full-time job for a Gemini. But honestly, watch your thoughts this month. Oh, and look, the card came out, Gemini, and I can't reach it because of my big old pregnant belly. So this card has to stay on the ground. Oh no. Hold on, these are my grandmother's cards. Ow. Oh, okay. Tower card. Change. So it first wanted to pop out, and then it went back in. And then talking about your thoughts being an anchor to this change. It popped out, but it fell on the ground, and it physically damaged my body in order for me to pick up this change for you. So you guys have been really positive. You've been optimistic. You're willing to change. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a physical and emotional and spiritual tax on you guys. You gotta be willing to change. It's time. It is totally time. And the best way to do that, like I said, run it through your head 1,000,000 times a day. Instead of the normal thoughts you have, run it through. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to change. And watch how your life changes. Literally. You're asking the universe for it. So the universe is like, okay, you got it. That being said, a lot going on in the sky this month. A lot going on. And a lot of it affects the gems. So, March 1st, we have the full moon in Virgo. And the reason why this affects you is because Virgo rules the same planet as you guys, which is Mercury, which I'll get into further because Mercury is going retrograde. Yes, March 22nd, Mercury retrograde. So, full moon in Virgo. Now is the time to really release what is no longer serving you when it comes to your day-to-day, when it comes to your habits, when it comes to your diet, your exercise, your routine, your coworkers, all that kind of mundane stuff that you guys actually rule. A Gemini is the one who's always, getting the errands done. Same with Virgo, getting the errands done. Fortunately for me, I live with the Gemini moon in Virgo, so literally I think the last time I went grocery shopping was before I moved in here, because they want to run the errands, and, well, it's not that I take advantage, but I'm grateful. I'm totally grateful, and this Gemini is happy to do it, so we both get our needs met. That being said, full moon in Virgo, if that is something that you aren't happy with an air sign who just popped out, an air sign who you feel is maybe impeding your sense of change, it's definitely time to just release those emotions. Mercury enters Aries and Venus enters Aries on March 6th, so that affects the Geminis because Mercury is your ruling planet, so you're going to be talking a lot more, getting more fiery action, and then Venus in Aries is definitely going to give people that dating, back out. February was definitely just hibernation mode where people were kind of inside, not doing anything. Now that March has kind of come around, people definitely are getting back out there, having more fun, getting more social. So that Venus entering Aries is going to bring a lot of energy when it comes to dating and romance and beauty and, culture and museums and things like that. But there is somebody, like I said, who's been taking a lot of your freedom for change. It's like you feel like you can't change because especially two people, they would be hurt by it. And it would kind of feel like you kind of snake them. But that's not your intention at all. Jupiter goes retrograde on March 8th. And Jupiter going retrograde is usually positive. Sorry for all the ums. I have pregnancy brain. And I realize I've been going a lot, but Jupiter retrograde March 8th is excellent in my opinion because it allows us to get internal about what we want to achieve, what we want to expand on, and where our optimism is needed. We have a new moon in Pisces on March 17th. So writing down your new moon manifestations, writing down what you would like to see changed in your life. Is it maybe that you don't know what you want to change? Now's the time to really get creative. March 17th is going to be that time to really get creative and be like, you know, this is a dream for me and this is what I want. And just really questioning. If there is something in your life that you haven't even acknowledged that you want, go back and be like, well, why don't I want that? Like, that is kind of like a normal thing to want. So why don't I want that? And question it, you know? Because that can be incredibly isolating to not want things that you feel society expects you to want. So go back and be like, where is that coming from? You know, who is that coming from? Let's see what else. Mercury retrograde on March 22nd, as mentioned, until April 15th. And then we have a full moon in Libra on March 31st, okay? So I think those are all the cards that are popping out for the Geminis for March 2018. Very positive still, very sunny disposition. Could be a baby on the way. Could definitely be some young energy coming in. Some young, really beautiful energy. Could even just be like a young pet. Something like that like a baby something that it's on its way in, and you thought that you build up your walls when it came to this type of love and unconditional love and non-judgment, but no, this young energy coming in is just going to blast those walls down and really show you your caring side that you didn't necessarily realize you had. You didn't think that you had it in you, but this young energy is like, yeah, you do. And even though you're feeling very pinned down by your thoughts right now, especially when it comes to a relationship, this change that's coming in is going to affect a Queen of Swords, a person who could have a H or a C in their name, first or last name, and an L, first or last name, could affect this person, but also middle name as well. So could be CHL in the first, middle name, last name, or maiden name. Could affect this person, this air type sign, but you got to do you. It could feel like, you know, I'm really going to, you know, impose on them, take from them, because there's two people involved, but you got to do you because it is pure and you have been giving a lot, and because of all that giving, you're feeling very bound. You're feeling very bound to not want to make a change, and that's why you're not sleeping too well. You're not sleeping very comfortably. You're not sleeping very deeply. The sleep that you are getting is, what's the word I'm looking for? I always do this with Gemini. I'm always just like, I'm going to use a big word, and then I fail. So, prophetic. Prophetic. Is that the word, Gemini? Please help me. Like, I am pathetic. So you are feeling kind of bounded by this person, and sleeping that you do get is inspired, is poetic. Maybe that's the word I'm trying to say, is very poetic, because the dreams that you're having, like I said, are very inspired, and the dreams that you're having, if you remember them, they are related to a partner. They are related to some sort of partnership. You want to reach out to this person. You want to be with this person. You want to connect with them. But you feel like maybe you lost the ball, and you feel like if you were to send that message, everything would change, and it would turn this person negative. It would kind of mess up what's going on in their life right now and kind of change their energy. But it is time to just do it. It is time to just do it, because there's something really missing in your life, Gemini. Really missing there. Okay? And you've been giving out a lot. and not necessarily the areas that need it. So even though this Queen of Swords and like these two people who you may think that your change is going to affect negatively, no. You're willing to change, and that'll, I shouldn't say force, but it will inspire them to change, and it will all work out in the long run for everybody involved. Because I'm also feeling that on the other side, they're afraid of you changing and for them to change because they feel like it's going to impede on you as well. So both parties want to make changes, but it's like they don't want to affect each other. But it is definitely time. You've been fighting a lot. You got a lot going on. And it's like, you know, you don't even have time to kind of tie your shoelace up all the way. It's just you're bleeding out, making a lot of mistakes because of it as well. Just really focusing on work and on energy out and just trying to stay above, but the foundation is cracking. Like you're getting to a point now where internally you're like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm at a breaking point and I need to kind of, you know, make some adjustments, make some changes. And the obstacle and the aid is your soulmate. Your soulmate is always in your readings, Gemini. This makes me so sad because, like I said, my father-in-law is a Gemini and he's single. And I know that his soulmate is there. And I'm like, go get her. I'm a Libra, so I'm like, how could you not have love? You know, I can have the worst day ever. And I know that as long as I have, you know, my husband next to me, I'm happy. But I can't. Oh, it does make me sad. It definitely makes me sad. So this is the obstacle and the aid to all this fighting, internal instability, you know, beating off all this energy, beating off all these options. It's either to distract you from missing soulmate, or it's as a way of proving on a very subconscious level to soulmate that you're worthy. Okay, because soulmate is here. Soulmate is here. Is it that person that you wanted to reach out to, that you wanted to communicate to, but you feel that if you were to reach out to them, it's just going to turn negative? Subconsciously, definitely feeling like your thoughts are ruling the show. Your thoughts are ruling the show. You got to get control over those. You definitely have to get control over those. You'll know when it's an inspired thought and when it's your ego thought, where it's not actually, you know, there is two separate thought processes. There's, you know, the thoughts in your head and then whatever is listening to your thoughts in your head. And those are two very separate entities, two very separate things. And where you want to be at is the thing or whatever that's listening to the thoughts in your head, because the thoughts in your head are usually just your ego, aka your experiences, and not God, you know, not spirituality, not your higher self. So when it comes to your thoughts, the person or the thing watching your thoughts actually has all the control to be like, cancel, or affirm. You know, it can kind of just be like more computerized, where the thoughts that go through like clouds, which are, you know, thousands a second, those thoughts that come through, just monitoring them. It's like putting a filter, parental guidance on your TV, just monitoring those thoughts and saying, okay, that can stay. But no matter what, the number one thought that you should be having every day, Gemini, millions times a day, is I am willing to change. Okay? Because you are thinking about what you've invested so far, and you really want to take a leap of faith. You really want to just kind of go for something, but there's still a lot of worry about finances and worry about change and worry about what this change could do for the people that you care about. Family and friends, there's some young energy there that I think that's who you're taking care of, is some young energy. Emotional. Maybe very emotional, depressed, suicidal, some, you know, maybe suicidal in the past, and now you're kind of being able to be there for them and allow them to speak their demons and get out any anger that they have and just sort of, you know, eat those emotions up in a positive way. That's what's going on with your family and friends. Like, you definitely appreciate their openness. Hope and fear, Gemini, is to acknowledge how much you've grown and what you've built for yourself. It's interesting that this is a fear, though, to take kind of like a step back and look at, you know, get back to work and just really get focused on work and get focused on power. If work empowers you, then this is what you should be doing. Like, if this is a fear, it could be stemming back from a parent. You know, I don't want to bring up my father-in-law too much, but we were just watching this documentary because he lost his dad 50 years ago in a plane crash. It was like the first major plane crash in the history of Canada. And the reason he was on that plane was for work purposes. He was following his dad's business orders as opposed to being, you know, a professional hockey player. So now you start to realize how, you know, stemming it back, right? Like, what happened that is giving you this subconscious fear of working hard? You know, did your parents work very hard and you got ignored, you got neglected? Did your parents really push work and achievement on you to the point where, and especially like social achievement on you, where, you know, it's kind of like a silent form of rebellion to not work hard? You know, so what's going on? There's a hope and a fear there. Last card. Manifestation. So, like I said, you are manifesting your thoughts. Once you realize, the first step is to think about what you've invested, what you've grown, what's inside of you, where your power lies, because that's what you're manifesting out. This is where your thoughts are coming from this place. And what that's creating, Gemini, is this energy here. Young emotions that you maybe were not ready to acknowledge. Okay, so it is time to change. If you don't want to get to this emotional place where you're like, you know, realizing soulmate and that leap of faith that you made when it comes to the soulmate, it's really bringing up a lot of, you know, childhood emotions and deep emotions that you're getting to a point where you kind of want to bow out and be like, no, I'm not ready to go there. I'm not ready to experience that pain. Then it is time to redirect these thoughts. Okay, so in the spirit of Pisces season, I have a indigo angel card for you Geminis for March 2018. What do the Geminis need to know? March 2018. Especially when it comes to the soulmate. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pull a card. Here we go. Allow love. This makes me so sad. It makes me think about my father-in-law. I always relate my readings back to my family. I can't help it, obviously. And sometimes I'm just like, oh God. That's when I know that I must be on the right track, you know? Or I'm just doing personal readings for them without even realizing it, and this doesn't resonate for anybody, but you never know. All I know is that if this resonated for you, allow love, okay? So, for instance, bringing it back to my situation once again, of course, because that's how people tell their stories and their experiences, with my father-in-law and his plane crash. At the end of the day, his father dying in that plane crash was still coming from a loving place. He wanted to show his father love and respect and how much he admired his father's opinion by getting onto that plane. So he still allowed love. And now, you know, it's affected generations afterward, but love still existed with every step of the way, even after this tragedy. You know, like that's something that happens once in a lifetime. And my father-in-law, he's had a really rough life, especially because he just lost his son, you know, at 30 years old in August, like 6 months ago. So allowing that love to come in and realizing that, you know, even though things in the past with the parents, you know, really forcing you, feeling like you have to work extra hard and there is maybe a silent rebellion, or when it comes to love, being afraid of just embracing your soulmate and connecting to your soulmate because of your parents' relationship, or how your mom treated you or how your dad treated you. Who knows the reason why you feel so afraid, or how a past love treated you. Who knows why you're so afraid to connect to this person on an emotional level. But at the end of the day, allowing love in, taking a big leap of it and realize a big bite out of it, and realizing that you are 100% accepted and protected, and your love will receive your love with open arms and reciprocate it if you are willing to change. Be willing to change and allow love. That's your guidance for the month, Gemini. And as always, if you want to go deeper into your reading, if you want to get a lot more specific, we will use astrology, we will use numerology, we will use intuitive energy, whatever you want to call it, science, intuition, and math, and art, tarot. Send me an email, please. My contact details are below, and I can't wait to hear from you guys. I love my Geminis. Have an amazing March, and I will see you guys in April. Bye, Gemini.